So I'm here with pastry chef Kim Conroy. How are you, chef?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What have you been doing lately, recently?
Making cakes and stuff.
Damn, where are you working?
I work at Butter and. We are in the Dogpatch. We actually just got our first storefront, so we're building it out right now.
Oh, dope. Okay. And then were you there since the inception or have they been?
No. So Amanda started Butter and in 2017
Right.
as just like doing it out of her apartment. And then during the pandemic, all of the bakeries like closed down. So she got really busy. You know, a lot of places closed down, but that's where like her business just boomed. And then, you know, they've been slowly hiring people. And then I came on board in January.
Okay.
At the beginning of the year. So it's been good.
Very cool.
Learning
Very
a
cool.
new skill.
Yeah. Okay. So in your whole pastry career, you've never really done.
No.
Okay.
I did cakes in culinary school, you know, when you like pipe flowers and like stuff like that, and like did fondant cakes, and I've done them here and there, but nothing to this level. It's a totally different craft.
So it didn't really call to you.
No, not at the time.
Okay.
But
got you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, here on the show, we're going to go all the way back to when you were a little niña. Where were you born?
I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And then when I was 2, we moved to the town where my mom grew up called Drake. There's more cows than people. So it's small town. Small town vibes. Yeah.
How many cows?
Quite a bit.
I thought you were going to be like, there's 10 cows.
There's about 10. No, there's this famous, like, it's locally famous cow farm called Shaw Farm. And that's like, they started back in like the early 1900s when they would like bring milk to people's doors. So they still sell it in glass bottles and stuff.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like its claim to fame.
All right. Very cool. So were you in the dairy business?
No.
Okay.
I was not in the dairy business. I was not. But I did grow up going to Shaw Farm almost weekly, and then they have ice cream, so we would go and get ice cream all the time, go and see the baby cows. And
you guys have like a milkman?
We did not have a milkman. My mom was, I guess, the milkman, because she went to go and pick up the glass bottles.
Okay. Love that. Gender fluid milkman. So you're born there. How long do you live there your whole life?
I lived there through high school, and then I went to community college for my first year of college to save money. So I still lived at home, and then I went to Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island.
Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
What years were you there?
I started in like 2010, graduated 2013.
Oh, okay. So what was your experience there?
So we lived on Narragansett, like
you never lived in the dorms?
I lived in the dorms. I lived in North Hall.
Okay, North Hall.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. It was crazy. You know, they squeezed 4 of us into each one of the dorm rooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I lived there my freshman year, and then
where was North Hall?
Or wait, no, South.
Yeah, I was like
that was the whole joke. Yeah. So there was no North Hall. So I lived in South Hall.
South Hall
was the crazy party hall.
Yeah, that was home of Maddie Kammerer while we were there.
What's that?
Maddie Kammerer, the chef of Harbor House.
Oh.
Yeah. The shade. The shade, Maddie. Oh my God. No.
Sorry.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was in South Hall, room 124.
Yeah. And then, okay, who were your roommates?
So there was this one girl, Caradan, but then we had a falling out and she moved out. And then there was this girl, Stephanie.
Why'd you have a falling out?
I don't know. They just like, you know, college girl shit.
Yeah.
But she moved out. It was just like she moved into the room next door, and then it was just me and this girl Stephanie, and then this girl Chelsea moved in. But I don't talk to any of them anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was like
what
10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Tyler still to this day.
Nice.
Met him the first day moving into the dorms.
You know, one of my closest friends, Coleman, he lives out here, and I met him one of the first days, and we're still very close.
His first name is Coleman?
Coleman Connor, yeah.
That is the second Coleman I've ever heard of.
Really?
First one is Coleman Griffin.
Oh.
Who has a Japanese restaurant, I believe, in Japan.
Nice.
But I worked with him at Meadowood.
Oh, okay.
He's from California.
Yeah.
He worked at Benu for a little while.
Okay.
Too. Crazy. So what made you go to culinary school?
Well, I went to a vocational high school.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So vocational high school, and then I like didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't have like a lot of passion in anything.
Right.
And then we had this new teacher come in that was teaching the pastry program, Miss Samaris.
Okay.
And she was really young. She was only like 23 or 24 when she started. So we kind of just like clicked, and she saw something in me and started bringing me as a sophomore and junior to all the college tours with the seniors.
Wow.
So she like kind of gave me the like nudge.
The push.
Yeah, and we still talk. So.
Damn, that's a true mentor right there.
Yeah,
your
she's
whole
great.
life. Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. Maybe I shouldn't bring this up, but my my chef in high school, you know, I'm not gonna say his name. We don't talk anymore. He went through a scandal. So, yeah, probably shouldn't say that on here, but that's okay. Love you, chef. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you beat the case. There you go. Cool. So you pick Johnson Wales, you get to Providence, Rhode Island, and you're like, I love this. I want to live here. Because it's the fucking South Side. Like,
no.
Spark Park.
No. Oh, yeah, dude. Come on. Yeah. Spark Park.
Spark Park. Where are you guys, what houses were you guys going to party at?
So we actually lived in the Big Blue House on Narragansett.
Oh.
I know.
Wait, your landlord was Court Purrington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking scumbag.
I lived on like the 5th floor, and there was like pigeons right on like the roof, so like constant cooing.
Dude,
like,
you get broken into every break.
We got broken into like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But luckily I was on the 5th floor, so no one ever went up that far.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it was gross.
Damn.
Absolutely foul. And my mom came to visit once.
Oh.
And she's like, "Why are you living here?" And she's like, I'll get you something else. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
good.
dude, the front doors don't work to any of the apartments. They just open.
My friend fell through the stairs.
What?
He was coming down the stairs and like hopped down and then like fell through a stair.
Damn.
Yeah.
Court Purrington. Get that shit fixed, dog.
Scumlord, dude.
Yeah, scumlord. Love that. Damn, yeah, that around there was a lot of... That house used to have parties, and I used to remember the floor.
Oh, so sticky.
Just like sticky and like sandy and kind of like,
And and everyone would smoke cigarettes inside.
That's right. That's right.
Gross.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the time, you were like, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll just go shower.
Just imagine if the lights were a little brighter, like what it would look like in there.
Or like putting a
black light?
on it.
Ooh, that's not
like,
good.
You don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite chefs at Johnson Wales? Any chefs that you keep up to this day?
I don't really keep in touch with anyone, but I did have some really good chefs that believed in me. That I think there was Chef Harvey, and so I don't remember her first name, but she was like my mentor through school, because they sign you up with like a mentor. So she really pushed me into fine dining. And then I had another chef that I don't remember his name, but when we had like our closing interview, he was like, you're gonna do really, really well in this industry if you want to, but you've got to like watch your attitude. And I was like, ooh, okay. And I like remember that forever. It's like,
did you watch your attitude?
I did. He's like, you just get so in your head and you just get like really angry. And I was like, yeah, I do. But like inwardly. And he's like, it's not inwardly.
That's well, that's an ADHD thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like somebody, I think last year they were like, I talked to somebody in a certain way and I didn't realize it. And they were like, hey man, like what's wrong? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, I didn't even realize. And I was like, I think that's just a ADHD thing where you don't kind of compute other people's emotions.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes. Yeah, it's just like projection.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been like working so hard over the last like probably like 6 years on projection and like knowing how like I feel internally and not putting that on anybody else. But it's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's like, because you don't even realize you're doing it until you take a step back.
Yeah.
Or someone tells you how they feel, and very few people do that.
Yeah. Wow. That's fucked. So you lived on Narragansett, what, your sophomore year?
Yeah, sophomore year.
That's when you moved? What was your favorite dining hall? Johnson & Wales in Providence?
None of them.
Really?
None of them.
You didn't like hospitality? I liked it on London Broil night.
You know,
That wasn't bad. I
I
had some great meals there because we'd be so stoned.
Hospitality Harborside, you mean?
Yeah, well
Harborside?
they changed it.
Oh, okay, okay.
The little building down
Yeah.
at the end of the street at Narragansett Boulevard.
Yeah, I remember. I lived in that dorm for like 1 trimester.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so we would just like my friends and I would just eat at the Starbucks there all the time.
They had us. Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was part of our meal plan.
I was there the first year they had the Starbucks when it wasn't part of your meal plan.
Oh man.
You just had to pay for it.
Oh.
Great building though, that little classroom.
Red sauce pizza or whatever.
Red sauce, yeah.
Got sick every time I ate it.
Really?
I got it just like I hated the food there. My mom would like
I ate at Campco Pizza.
Oh, Campco.
A lot. Yeah, Campco, the little
Yeah, we would do Campco and get like ramen noodles and like I just like called my mom. I'm like, I can't eat the food here. And she's like, okay, let's go get some groceries. And she'll like buy me stuff that I can heat up in the microwave. And we would make like baked potatoes in our like tiny little microwave we had in the dorms and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we didn't keep our fridge, so we lost our microwave. Was the microwave on top of the fridge?
Yeah, because they give it to you for free your first try or the first couple weeks. Or
something. For
like
like 10 days, and then they're like, "You want to pay for this?" And we were like, "No."
Yeah, I think we had friends like across the hall that didn't want to do that, so they would just use ours.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really planning on eating or drinking anything cold, so it was just like college life. It was just like just eat enough so you don't die, and
they feed you in the labs and stuff.
Yeah,
unless you're an academic,
dude. I would say some of the best dinners I had were at those labs.
They don't let pastry.
Oh, program. That's right. You never got to do it?
No.
What?
I know. It's like some backwards ass shit that they don't let the pastry kids eat, but then they serve some of the pastry things in there, like the breads and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Croissants.
Shade. Yeah.
Yeah, I would eat like 4 croissants during a dinner, during a meal.
That's all we got.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing else for you. That's funny. So you're there. Do you have, when you got pushed into fine dining, did you know that there was such a thing as fine dining? Yeah.
No, no. So I had a friend, and he had all of those books. I think he had like an 11 Madison Park book and a Noma book, and so I had never seen anything like that before. And I was like flipping through it, and I'm like, what the hell is elderberry? Like, is this even food?
Yeah.
It was like little discs of things. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like powder. And then I was like, what is this? And then he's like, oh, that's what I want to do. I'm like, okay. And then I was like looking into it. And so for like an internship, we have to do an internship your senior year. And I worked at Menton. Or Monton
in Boston.
In Boston.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
But
why?
Just my boss.
Okay.
Because she was not very nice to me at all. Like some of the things that was said to me at that job, I will carry with me for the rest.
What's her fucking name? Right now, we'll just call her out. Let's go. No calling her out.
No, she has her own business now, and I'm not gonna sink to her level. So
okay.
You know who you are, and you were mean to me.
You better fucking apologize. You understand?
No, there was one day, and I was young. I was like 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like standing there, and you have to earn your striped apron. And I'm like in my white apron for like 5 months. And then I was like trying to stay busy during service, and she just kept kicking me off of tasks. And so I was like, okay, I'll just like wash the spoon bay. And she's like, why are you washing the fucking spoon bay? And I'm like, okay. And so I just stood there, and then she like looked over at me like a minute later. She's like, you look so fucking pathetic right now. And I was like,
damn.
Oh my God. I was like, are you serious? I was like, I am pathetic, chef. Yes, I'm so pathetic. And then another time she told me that she only hired me because the team needed a team punching bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chef.
And then she was surprised when I quit after 5 months to go work for at Ken Oranger's restaurant.
Right.
At Cleo.
Yeah. Okay.
So I worked there for 2 years.
Did you work pastry at Cleo?
I did, with Monica.
With Monica?
Yeah, Monica Glass. And
the girl I was dating at the time in Providence, Rhode Island, went to go stage there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Annabelle Adkins. I think she has a Samia baking company in Texas.
Nice.
Right now,
Yeah, Monica is very talented. A lot of the things I learned came from her. And then when she left, Kevin Walsh took over, and he had pastry experience, but he had never been a pastry chef before.
Right.
So I stayed for like 6 more months to acclimate him, and then he taught me so much about using savory flavors in desserts. And we still talk pretty frequently, and he just had a baby, so he's doing good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he has like his own little, I forget the name of his company, but he has this little restaurant, and they make pizza, and because he makes amazing pizza and gelato. That's it.
Pizza and gelato.
Yeah.
That's a dream right there.
Yeah. No, he's doing it. He's
Simplify it, baby.
Love that
That's
guy.
amazing.
Cracks me up.
Damn. So we were talking about this earlier, how some people have good relationships with some chefs at restaurants, and other people have a very like bad relationship with that chef. Like I'm sure that there's some people that sing that chef's praises, whoever that was, that and sometimes I like to think that people just don't know any better, and that was her way of projecting. She was projecting shit onto you because she was the fucking pathetic one. You know what I'm saying?
I did a lot of like reflecting back on my career, and it was like her first time being like a pastry chef, and I know that she was under a lot of pressure too. And some people just
sometimes it's not her, it's the guy above them.
Yeah, and like she feels like she needs an outlet, and then if that's what worked for her, okay. But
it's also
can't
tough.
keep a team.
Yeah, it's also tough being a lady because you like have to prove yourself.
Yeah,
and like, but then the second that you act a little too crazy, then it's like, oh, but wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've seen it time and time again where it's like, well, you told her to be aggressive, and now she's being fucking aggressive. Now you don't like it.
Now she's a bitch.
Exactly. So it's like, come on.
Yeah. I know that's like definitely something that happens to women in any industry. And it's just like, it's so widely known that it's like a common topic of conversation, and it's something that needs to change, but like how long it's actually going to take to get there, it's like the whole world's going to have to change.
Yeah, for sure. From the base. God damn. So you worked there for 2 years. What,
at Clio.
Just pastry?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so I know what it's like to go through the hierarchy of a kitchen, and you have so many different stations, but how do you keep your sanity and be in the same station for such a long time?
So like there was so much to do.
Okay.
So at Clio, we were also responsible, the pastry team was responsible for doing the desserts at Uni, and then also taking care of the desserts for the Elliott Hotel. And it was only 2 of us. And so Monica was stretched so fucking thin. Right. And so I was just there like trying, like I was still really green. I was only like 21, 22. Wow. So I was super green.
You had to grow up quick.
Yeah, and like learn how to order things, which I was awful at, and like putting orders away and prepping and time organization, station organization. It was like, and I would say it was like my first real job. Like I had other real jobs, but that I stayed at for a long time and like had tenure at. Yeah. But yeah, it was too much to do to ever be bored there. We were so busy.
Really? Yeah. Okay. That's dope.
That's how pastry departments are everywhere you work, though. Pastry, like more so than being like a woman in a kitchen, pastry in general is they're like the backbone of restaurants, and it's something that savory cooks never realize until
they disrespect it.
Do pastry. Oh, it's a vacation station. You guys aren't hustling. Yada yada yada. No, we have intense time management. Because if you forget to do one part of a project, that's going to set you back 3 days. Yeah. And like, we don't have, like, you can do a chocolate-based dessert. Chocolate's one of the only things that's going to like hold up your dish, but we don't have like Wagyu we can throw on a dish to make it good. We can't put caviar on the dish to make it good.
Oh, I never thought of that.
It has to be, every component has to hit.
Right.
But like not hit too hard because things have to shine. So it's like a balance. And then pastry also is the smallest team. Okay. It's the most underpaid. And it just like the savory team will ask you questions on how to do so many things. You're responsible for just as much stuff and ordering and like organization. So they're the unsung heroes of restaurants. And maybe one day the pastry teams will get a show like The Bear where every pastry chef is like, this is too triggering to watch.
You know what? It's funny. I saw that somebody wrote that. They were like, I can't believe that fucking, it's like, all I want is a show to relate to. And what do I get? Another tortured white man.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I thought it was a true story.
Erickson posted something about that. Yeah. I was like, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Pastry chefs are just so underappreciated. And it is hard.
Yeah.
It is really, really hard.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I love pastry.
Why didn't you guys say this any earlier? I feel like you guys keep this in for so long.
Because like
I've never heard a pastry person tell me any of this.
Really?
No.
We all feel this way. Every single pastry person watching knows. They're gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I taught them how to make
one for the pastry people, baby.
I taught the Savory team how to make tart shells and patafouille.
Yeah.
And but now it's their dish.
Their dishes are better because of me.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's right.
And that's everywhere I've ever worked.
Yeah.
It's not just like one place. It's like everywhere. So it's like we need some serious representation for all of the pastry chefs out there, because it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy being a little pastry person, you know? Damn.
You gotta have a thick skin.
I'm so sorry you guys are going through that.
That's okay. We'll rebuild.
It's like we're over here feeling bad for ourselves for all the shit we went through, and then we're like, damn, the pastry people got it worse.
Because the pastry people got it worse because no one realizes it. They don't say anything, Even the pastry people themselves. Yeah.
Because you guys are like, this is normal.
Normal.
When did you start to realize that it wasn't?
That I just, it was one of the whole reasons why I left Michelin in the first place, is I was just like grossly unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anything that anyone could say or do to make me feel better.
Right.
And that's like the whole reason why I left Michelin in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my mental health was completely crushed just from working so many hours for somebody else's dream.
Right.
And like I didn't have stock in the company. I didn't have, there was no reason for me to feel that way so much. And I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still feel yourself like getting over those like chef tendencies?
Sometimes.
Kind of like the impulsiveness of like, because like I tell you what, I'll do a dinner and I'm like, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's a drug.
It's bad. Yeah. It really is.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of chefs can't watch that show, The Bear.
The Bear? Yeah.
And it's like so overtalked now, but it's like, it's a drug. It's incredibly triggering.
Honestly, I cried. Season the ending when he finally breaks down and gives her a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is what every CDC wants. Mm-hmm. Is for their chef to be like, hey, here's this thing I want you to work on, and it's yours. It's like but that'll never fucking happen. Who's got the money for that? Fucking no one. It's not their fault. What are you what are you gonna do? You want to tell them you got to do it yourself nowadays.
It's true. But pop-ups are the way to go about it these days too.
Yeah, they really are.
It's like low risk.
Yeah, I'm into it, but I also am not into it because I don't like catering. It's catering. So that's what it is. But then you have no infrastructure. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna make a vinaigrette, you have to buy the entire bottle of vinegar. Mm-hmm. So like, especially when you're starting out, when you don't have a pantry, that's when it gets really expensive. Mm-hmm. And you're like,
you gotta buy everything.
What the fuck?
You don't make anything.
Yeah, you like turn around, like you're in the kitchen, you have a lot of shit already there. So you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
When you're doing it by yourself, you're like, when you make the menu, and then you're like, well, who's gonna slice the garlic?
Yeah. I gotta buy black pepper too.
Yeah, exactly, right? We don't just have black pepper in the house. What kind of household is this? And you're like, wait a minute, this is my house. And you're like, scumbag. Damn. Did you like living in Boston?
I lived in Revere, so East Boston, right by the airport.
Oh, wow.
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it out there. It was beautiful. Well, one, Beachmont and Beachmont area is where my grandmother lived for a little bit.
Right.
And then East Boston is just like this small town feel, and then it's right by the beach. And so like it smelled like the beach, but not like low tide. You know how the beach has like a
Okay.
smell. And because it was like 5-minute walk away, you know, and then it was
smelled like the beach, but not low tide.
Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, it was just like quiet, and my little neighborhood we lived in was really safe. I lived with my friends.
Right.
Yeah, and then so I lived in that house for like 2.5 years, 2 years, and then I moved to San Francisco.
Okay. And then that's a big jump. Was your family
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
You know, I'm really, really close with my family.
Okay.
And they knew that I was
destined for greater things.
They knew I was really unhappy in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was like, you know, you never really seemed settled. You always kind of felt like you were missing something. Like I had permanent FOMO, but I didn't know what I was missing. And it sounds very like cliche.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you're missing the fucking sun.
Yeah.
And the Northeast is like
brutal.
It's a rough place.
Yeah. I miss summers though.
Yeah, the summers are summer.
Yeah.
It's green. Colors are there.
Summer nights are the best.
Yeah,
minus
exactly.
the mosquitoes.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I wanted to be out of the cold, and I just wanted to do something different. Mm-hmm. And you know, I was trying to decide between moving to Hawaii, and like being in Hawaii and
island time.
Yeah. And then, or San Francisco. So I made the choice to move to San Francisco because it was an easier transition. Because my friend Coleman that I mentioned earlier, his mom lives out here.
Okay.
Shout out to Carrie. She's amazing. She's my West Coast mom.
What up, Carrie?
No, she let me live with her for 2 months for free.
Okay.
To get myself a job, to get an apartment, you know, feeding me. And I had like dogs in the house and like a family atmosphere. So like those first couple months that are like really scary, I felt like I was still surrounded by my family, which I knew that I needed for this big change. So yeah. And then I was like, oh, and then I'll move to like LA, or I'll move to Hawaii after like a year. And then I just stayed.
You love San Francisco.
I do like the Bay Area a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. It's a different place.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot of gentrification happening, obviously. But, you know, it's still, there's a whole different feel here that I just really like. So.
Do you think San Francisco has changed?
Since I've been here?
Yeah.
You know, I think.
There's a lot of people right now are like, yeah. Fuck this place.
Yeah, it's definitely changed since I've been here. But all of that, the tech money started when I like moved out here. So it started like 10 years ago, really like intensely, and I moved out here like 7 or 8 years ago, so it was already happening. So it's just more like, you know, when I first moved out here, the Dogpatch was like not what it is now. I can't even afford to live in the Dogpatch because it's so expensive, because it's really nice now. But it didn't always used to be like that.
Wow.
So it is changing, but you know, everywhere changes.
Whatever.
Everywhere changes.
For sure. Ebbs and flows.
Boston will be Boston.
Boston will forever. The Northeast will forever be the Northeast.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. There's too much.
It's still there.
Yeah. There's too much instilled in that fucking.
History.
I think it's the water.
Probably.
It's got to be the water.
Yeah.
Even though over here we're drinking Arizona water.
Are we?
Yeah. There's no California water for us.
Oh.
Like, that ends really quickly, and then they have to use.
I didn't
That's
know that.
why. So I went to go visit a reservation. And Nephi Craig, who is a chef who does a lot of restaurants, he's fighting for water sovereignty. Basically, what they do is they take the water rights away from the Native Americans that are up in the mountains, and they basically take the water and ship it over to California because we don't have any. And so when I say drought, and then I walk by the apartments the other day, and there's fucking the sprinklers going on, I'm like, are we in this together or are we not? But then again, I don't know what drought means. Like, if there was a real drought, wouldn't you just turn off the water so we can't use the fucking sink? I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I've at some point they like can't do that, and it's just they'll just like raise the prices. But I heard on this like Netflix documentary that water is like the business to get into.
I'm sure it is,
because they're so undercharged, and eventually it's not going to be. Like they don't charge enough for water for how much it actually costs. So there was like this whole.
Well, it shouldn't cost anything.
I know, but it does.
And it will cost more.
It will cost more.
Damn.
I mean, I don't really know shit about it. But
why are you bringing this bad news on the Sucio Talk?
I'm so sorry. It's just in my nature.
Yeah.
As I drink my water.
All right. So how'd you find a job out here?
So Aaron Thayer, I worked with at a couple different restaurants in Boston. Mm-hmm. And then he was opening Petit Cren for Dominique Cren.
Okay.
And they already had a pastry chef. And I was like, maybe I don't want to do pastry anymore. And he's like, oh. And so he's like, all right, here's the grill station. And I looked at him and I was like, I have never.
You're going to learn the grill station?
Yeah. I was like, I have never even grilled a hamburger. Like, I have never done anything like this. Never. And like my dad always did it, or like, I lived with chefs and then like they were like, oh, I'll man the grill. And so it's like, I never did it. And and then Dominique was like, oh yeah, we need a woman on the grill, the heart. And I was just like, hey, yeah, I'll grill some fish.
And she was like, yo, that's not it, bro.
And so I did that for 5 months.
Right.
And I hated the competitive nature of Savory Kitchen.
Yeah, it's not cool, is it?
There was like
that's my pan.
Yeah, there was like this one guy that was just like shit talked me until like, and Aaron.
So you broke, chef?
No, till the point he like shit talked me like, I want to be on grill, yada yada yada. She doesn't know what she's doing. I never got anything sent back to the kitchen for it being wrong, but like I was just like, you know what, bro? You want the grill? Have it.
Damn.
I was like, you can have it. And then, but like, I didn't say that to him. I said that to Aaron. And then Aaron was like, oh yeah, dude, you're on the grill station now. We're going to do rotations. He got kicked off the grill every night for a week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ken Conroy telling the true facts. Where's that loser now?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
We're just over here throwing shade at this old fucking grill cook.
But, and then eventually 6 months went by and I was like, Savory's not for me. I don't want to do this anymore. I was talking to Aaron about it. I'm like, I'm going to go work somewhere else. And he's like, well, a pastry chef just quit. Do you want to be the pastry chef? And I was like, okay.
I'll be the fucking pastry chef.
Yeah. So I did that for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And then, whatever happened. And then I went over to Lazy Bear.
I mean, whatever happened.
So when there was a mass exodus at Petit Cren where every staff member except 2 or 3 quit.
Did they write about this?
Huh?
Did Eater write about this?
I don't know.
I don't think they have.
There was a mass exodus where all of the opening crew walked out.
At Petit Cren?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What year is this?
2017.
2017.
2016.
4 years before the impending doom.
And I stayed because I was like, I am not financially stable enough to walk out and burn a bridge.
Yeah. Did you burn a bridge with all the other fools that walked out?
No, they understood. That Aaron was like,
How did they stage the walkout? Did they come to work and then walk out, or did they just not show up? How do you make it mean more?
There was things that aren't my story to tell happened, and then
right.
So one person left and then everyone else was like, that's super fucked up. And then they're like, we're all leaving. And they all left. And I was like, I can't because I'm a broke bitch.
Would you have left if you weren't a broke bitch?
Probably not, because I wasn't prepared to burn a bridge in a city that I just moved to. And a bridge like Dominique Cren, who has so much push. Right. I wasn't going to do that.
And the thing that happened, was it sexual abuse or
absolutely
okay,
not.
Got you.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, so then I stayed there and I had a 2-hour meeting with Dominique about job security because I was really nervous that I was going to be next. Yeah. And she was like, no, I have so much respect for you. I would never do that to you, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I think she really gets me. I think she understands what it's like. And 2 months later, I come in to work and they're like, hey, we're going to have a meeting with you. And I was like, okay. And they're like, so we're bringing in a pastry chef. And I was like, I'm the pastry chef. Oh. And they're like, yeah, well, we're not firing you because, as you know, we're not afraid of firing people. And I was like, that's reassuring. And then they were like, yeah, this guy's going to come in. He's going to run the pastry program. We think you can really learn from him. And that you're going to kind of float. We want to send you over to Atelier for 1 day a week. And I was like, it sounds like you're not firing me, but you are opening the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't want to pay unemployment or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I just quit. I was like, so I was demoted. And I was like, why am I going to stay somewhere that like doesn't appreciate me?
Yeah.
And Lazy Bear had been like pulling for me for a long time because when I first moved to San Francisco, I almost worked there.
Mm-hmm. And
so I was like, I'm going to keep this relationship, you know, with David and like the team there. I'm going to like come in for drinks every once in a while, you know, pop in. And so I saw that they were hiring a pastry sous.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out and Edward called me that day and he's like, you have the job. He's like, you don't even have to stage. He's like, we know. And I was like, sick. So then I just went over as pastry sous over there.
Damn. Who was the pastry chef there at the time?
Edward Martinez.
Edward Martinez. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is he still there?
No.
He left a little bit.
So
when you became?
He left 5 months into me being there. Mm-hmm. And then they promoted me.
Is that why chef. They already knew he was leaving or?
No, he quit.
Okay.
And then, yeah. Other things that aren't my story to tell.
Issues.
Yeah, not my story, so I'm not
gonna... fucking cocaine-fueled fucking feuds out there in San Francisco. You know, that's what's happening.
I don't know. It's not
allegedly, chefs.
I didn't say it.
Allegedly.
I didn't say anything.
I don't know the facts.
No, it wasn't drug. It was not drug related.
I just like to think that it's cocaine fueled
It was
rage.
Not. Promise. But yeah, okay. So it opened up an opportunity for me. And so I stepped in, and then I was there for 4 more years.
Damn. Mm-hmm. I can't believe Petit Cren did you like that.
Burned me.
Yeah.
Burned me. Hard.
Right at the beginning, too, and their whole staff walked out? That's fucked. Mm-hmm. Damn. How fast did they rehire a team?
Immediately. Next day.
Yeah, right? Everybody wanted to work there.
Next day.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about, like, I get it. Everyone is expendable, but, like, having that mentality is not fucking cool.
You need to have appreciation for your staff that like is killing themselves every day for like your restaurant, you know?
Right.
But
that's fucked.
Yeah, but like I've seen Dominique like since, and I'm very like respectful, but she has no idea who I am anymore. She does not remember me.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that's fucked up because I feel like a lot of us go through that with people of that caliber, and because they're so busy and they are who they are, they forget all these little like slights on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And it's like
it adds up.
Yeah, for sure, it adds up.
It
hurts.
Health.
Yeah, it hurts for sure. And then when you think about that person, you're frustrated.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to think about like my mentors and be like, "Fuck you." You know what I mean?
Really
like
negative about it, and it's just like by nature, like. I have a tendency of being more negative. So it's like if any little thing happens like that, like I can like start spiraling into like negativity.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's hard for me to like, you know, separate myself from like, that's their own thing. And like, I need to worry about myself.
Right. Love that. Yeah. So your time at Lazy Bear after you took over as pastry chef, was it hard to like get the pastry team on board, or was it pretty easy to like just get in there? And
it was not easy. It was the most difficult time of my entire career.
Okay. Why?
So Tina, my sous chef at the time, well, she had just started. She was like 2 weeks in when all of this happened. And she was really green but like one of the most enjoyable people to be around that I've ever met in my entire life. Always positive, always happy, always like pushing to help the team. And so like I have so much respect for her. She also has her own bakery now that she's working on getting a storefront for.
Dope.
It's called the Baking Endeavor.
Okay.
It's very good.
San Fran?
Yep.
Oh, dope.
But yeah, so she was with me, and then we like rebuilt the team. It was just us for a while, and then we eventually started getting more like team members in, but I was so stressed out. I've never been that stressed in my entire life.
Yeah.
And actually, Jordan, that was on your podcast last. Yeah. He was the one that pushed for me to get the promotion, and you know, I'm just like.
So you were there during the little stint that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we worked together a couple times. Yeah. We got hired around the same time. Mm-hmm. And so like he came up to me one day when I was just like trying to get everything done and like really nervous. And he's like, I'm going to let you know right now, these next 2 weeks are going to fucking suck. But this is the hardest it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
And I remembered that. And it 100%
yeah,
was.
for sure.
Because like.
That's in anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
So I had all of that going on. I just became pastry chef at a 2 Michelin star restaurant. And like, you know, the team really believed in me. And I like had imposter syndrome. But then in my personal life, you know, I had my first boyfriend. And my family was in town that weekend. Like my parents were visiting. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea that all of this was going to happen. And so like where like my parents are meeting my first boyfriend. So it's like all of this pent up stress. Mm-hmm. And then we're all just like in North Beach at dinner, relaxing. And I had a full blown panic attack out of nowhere. Right. Because I was so stressed out, but I had no idea what it was. So it's just like, I was so stressed.
And then you blame yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so sorry. I ruined lunch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like, when we're in the hospital because I think I'm having a heart attack. Like, yeah. So I'm a big advocate on like mental health. Yeah. And like, you know.
And then your parents are like, what are you doing to her, young man?
No, the doctors are like, we need your boyfriend to leave the room. Like, does any of this involve him? I'm like, no, he helps me.
Yeah.
None of this involves him at all.
Got you.
But.
Wow, chef. Okay, so you freak out.
I freaked out.
And then you worked there for 3 more years.
4.
4 more years.
Yeah.
Wow.
4.5 more years. Yeah. I was there for 5 years total.
Did you ever see at any time in that time where you like, I need to go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. I knew almost from the beginning that Michelin wasn't for me and restaurants weren't for me. Like way back to when I first started. But it's always that thing like, oh, you know, like if I'm pastry Sue, it'll be better. If I'm pastry chef, it'll be better. If I'm making more money, it'll be better. When we get another team member, it'll be better and I'll feel like happy. And it just like, I just didn't. I was so depressed. And it was just like, I struggle with my own like mental health. I'm very, very, very open about it because I want other people to feel like it's okay to talk about. It's not something that should be celebrated. It should be taken very, very, very seriously. But because I am open about it, it has blown up in my face because people think that, oh, she's open about it. Like we can like address her mental struggle. We can address these things because she's addressed it. I'm like, no. You can't do that.
Got you.
So,
like, why didn't you make these cakes? Is it because you're this?
Yeah, it's like, like, you know, like, oh, well, maybe we should wait until like you're feeling like, you know, we can have this conversation. I was like, I'm fucking fine. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me.
That's the thing that sucks about being open. Is that then people know those things about you, so then they use that, and then they're not like really genuine.
Yeah,
because it's like they're tiptoeing around you, you know.
Sometimes, and you know, like I never want people to feel like they have to walk on eggshells with me, but you know, it has been something. But you know, the positive thing about being open is so many cooks feel okay to talk to you, and so that was something that I really had at Lazy Bear was like the cooks that were having hard times that were like, you know, didn't like struggling with their own mental health, felt like they could talk to me. And then I was like, you can text me whenever. Yeah. Like no one has to know about this.
You're a big mama.
Yeah. Okay. So I felt very like good about being that point person for a lot of people. But yeah, you know, it just, to dial back, it was, I just was so unhappy. And it wasn't anything that Lazy Bear was doing or not doing or any things like that. It was just the wrong thing for me.
Right.
Restaurants. And so I was like, the main reason for leaving is like, well, what makes me happy? It's like making other people happy. And I've missed out on weddings, birthdays, celebrations, holidays. I've missed everything for my friends and my family. So like something you do in America is like you bring cake, you know? And I was like, where else? And then so like, oh, if I do cake, then I'm more involved in these celebrations. And then also in pastry, that's where you make money.
Yeah. Cakes.
They're expensive.
Cake, baby.
Yeah.
That's how you make that cake with the cake.
Exactly.
All right.
So that's where the money's at. Like,
do you sometimes feel distant from your family?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's great because sometimes I feel distant because I'm like, again, you miss birthdays, you miss, funerals. I didn't go to my friend's funeral.
Yeah.
Because I worked. That was like my excuse.
Yeah.
But really is that I just didn't want to face it.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
Yeah. And also when you're a cook, you constantly feel like you're failing. So it's like, because you're getting yelled at every night and you're being told you suck. So it's like, I'm terrible. And then like, I remember my family used to be like, oh, you're a chef now. And I'm like, no. Like, don't call me chef.
Don't call me chef.
I'm not a chef.
Not
and I'm
like,
bro, I'm a motherfucking chef.
Yeah.
All right. I earned that shit like I'm like a doctorate,
It's true.
So.
But yeah, I just wanted to be happy and work on my own like mental health and feel like I still want to do pastry. I still want to be in the industry. It's my passion. I love it.
Right.
But I want to do something that's more fulfilling for me.
Okay.
And I found Butter and through Lazy Bear, nonetheless, actually.
Okay. What was it? David just...
No, it's really funny. So we had this six top come in with a cake, and I was like, oh man, I hate when people come in with cake. Cutting cake is cutting cake is like I'm in the middle of like this 20 plate pickup, and I have to cut a cake. Like that's so intimidating.
Yeah. And
then the cake's never good, and like then it's like you're bringing this cake out that people in the restaurant are going to see and think that you made. So a lot of times they don't even look good. So I like unboxed it, prepared for the worst. And I was like, damn, this shit is beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? That's buttercream?
Yeah.
It was like their kintsugi design. And I was like, there's no way that tastes good. There's no way. That doesn't taste good. And I brought the cake out. I presented it, and there was so much left over. I like cut the staff a piece. And I was like, holy shit, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. And it looks like this. What is this bakery? And so it was Butter And so I messaged them on Instagram. And I was like, hey, can you teach me how to ice a cake? Like, I really want to learn how to do it like this. And, they didn't respond. But then a couple months later, Amanda and Ted came in. They're the owners of Butter came in to Lazy Bear for dinner. And Evan, my pastry sous at the time, who took over for me, he brought out their desserts and was like chatting with them, and he knew how much like I liked Butter and he was like, Kim, you gotta go. Amanda is out there. She's like from Butter and I was like, I walk over to her. I was like, I messaged you, and she, we just like built that connection, and then I staged, and then they hired me.
Dope.
Yeah.
Cool. And you have equity in the company and all that, and you're like...
Yeah. And, their whole business motto is, like, ethical employment and, like, a positive work environment. And so many places say that. So many places say that, like, you don't know, like, how much is legit. And then I can honestly say that it is very legit there. They strive every single day to make sure everyone is happy. Madrid, the GM, has, like, one-on-ones with team members every week, and Amanda and Ted have 2-on-1s with team members every month to make sure how everyone feels. Do they feel satisfied in the company? What are they struggling with? What's their next trajectory of like growing you as an employee? What are the incentives? And it's just like you feel heard all the time.
And then you're just producing cakes.
Yeah.
How many cakes do you produce a day?
It depends.
Is there any time where you get stuck on a cake and you're like, hey, come here and help me?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'm still learning.
Okay.
And so...
Is there any, like, wizards over there?
Oh, my God. Yeah, they're all
What are their
wizards.
names?
Racina. Madrid, Janice, Daniel, all of them do the designers. And then I'm still getting trained on the designers. So Racina is training me. She's very patient with me.
Yeah.
Because like I get very in my head. And so she's like, you know what, Kim? Everything's fixable. Just take off all the buttercream. I'm like, oh, the buttercream.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. It's very supportive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're looking to just be there are you going to ever move back home?
No. I'm not going to move back home unless I have to.
Right.
Like something happens. But, I have a family still. Like my sisters are both on the East Coast still. But no, I think California is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if I can afford to live in the Bay Area forever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Where would you move to? Redwood City?
I don't know.
Still in the Bay, but not really?
Redwood City is super expensive too now.
San Carlos?
I have no idea. I think I could be okay in Tahoe.
It's all that meta shit.
Yeah. But Butter Ann's working. We want to expand. So it's going to be moving to other cities. Like we want to open up other locations.
Oh, you were saying that global
brand.
Global brand.
Yeah.
Dope.
Eventually, one day.
Get everyone cakes.
That's the goal.
Okay. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you doing? Any hobbies? Any restaurants you're enjoying going to these days?
Well,
Bars?
I can actually go to restaurants.
Yeah, you can enjoy yourself now.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
So I went to Gozu. It was good.
Okay.
I went to Hilda & Jesse and I loved it.
Oh, Hilda and Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there.
It's good. They do breakfast, fine dining breakfast.
You know what? I thought of that when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Hilda and Jessica.
And
it's
it's
definitely
super cute inside.
Picture a biscuit.
It's looks like a little diner inside.
Yeah.
It's so
I
cute.
think I've been there.
It's good.
It's like grandma kind of style.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like antique.
Homey. Okay, got you. I have been there.
Yeah, and then I love cocktail bars.
Mm-hmm.
So, just going to cocktail bars and.
What's your favorite cocktail bar in SF?
I really like Beehive.
Beehive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then ABV is right by my house.
ABV is the shit. I've had some food there too.
It's good.
They don't. Yeah.
Do a
Doing
good burger.
mushroom toast.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the classique over there.
But no. So I recently, what's going on in my life is I got a new roommate, and he has a dog. So
you have a dog in your life?
I have a dog in my life.
How do you feel about that?
She's adorable. But I also own 2 cats. So we've been acclimating the pets.
Right.
Day 1 was really bad, not going to lie. It didn't go well. There was lots of chasing and barking.
Ground zero.
Yeah. And the cats have never seen a dog before. But it's been, it's been 3 days now. So we're still in the acclimation process.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if you've ever had to acclimate pets, but
no,
it's tricky.
Never had to. Yeah, that's a whole nother challenge that I don't even want to face. But it's good that you got a new roommate.
Yeah, he's super nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do?
He's in finance.
Oh.
And he just moved back to SF from San Diego.
Mm-hmm. San Diegan. Okay.
He's
lovely.
Super nice guy.
Dope.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I just work. I took up climbing.
Oh, you've been rock climbing?
Yeah, I'm really bad. Really bad. But I try. I try. I don't know if you're familiar with the levels of rock climbing. Mm-hmm. So there's V0
mm-hmm.
through 10 or 11.
Oh, there's ratings now?
Yeah. Well, the paths
mm-hmm.
you follow up. They're all different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So you can challenge yourself. So I still haven't really graduated from V0, which is pretty much a ladder.
a ladder?
It's
okay.
I'm really bad. I don't have very much upper body strength, but it's
You're
fun.
getting there.
I'm getting there. Yeah. I'm working on
Are you going
guns.
to a rock climbing place?
Yeah, I go to Dogpatch Boulders.
Okay.
It's right downstairs from where I work. So there's no excuse to not exercise.
Got you.
Yeah, so I've been doing that.
Were you ever a workout person?
No. No.
I always figured I need activities.
Yeah.
In order to, I can't just I'm not a go to the gym and just hit the rowing machine kind of guy.
No, it's so boring.
Yeah, it's boring. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I wish I
can't even.
Be that person.
There's people that can watch movies while they do it.
I read.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on treadmill or on a bike or something.
How do you read on a treadmill? You know what I'm saying? Because you're
you just set it up.
There you go. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm actually reading all of the Harry Potter books right now. I never read them as a kid.
You don't have to do that. They made the movies.
I know.
You don't have to do any of that.
I'm trying to connect with my sisters. My sister Lauren is obsessed with the Harry Potter series.
Yeah. You should take her to the Harry Potter play that they do in San Francisco.
Yeah. One day.
It's live and they do 3D shit
I think she'd love that.
Crowd, yeah.
But she's like, so it was something like, so I'm dyslexic, and reading as a kid, like when all of those books were coming out, you like see a book that's like this thick, right? And it's so intimidating for like a kid with dyslexia to read that. And so I never read them.
Do you think that they could have made a way to spell words for dyslexic people?
I think
that then you could put them back together?
No, because the thing is like dyslexia isn't just about mixing the letters up. Everyone has different types of dyslexia, and how you see things is different.
Okay.
So like some people, the words like will like float around on the page. So I mix up the order of the words in the line. Or like will read a word completely wrong. And then like a lot of people, the letters can like flip upside down or like just looks like symbols. Yeah. So I don't think that there's anything that they can really do other than learning how your brain works and what works for you.
Got you.
Yeah.
So if you stare at a word long enough, can you like put it back together the way it was?
Sometimes I'm like, what the hell does this say?
Yeah.
And then someone's like, Kim, that says afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, okay. So I guess recipes were easy for you to read because it's just like flour.
Yeah. Yeah.
This.
Or it'll be like a triangle or a circle. Or so I have like shorthand for a lot of things, and I'll always write things down because writing things down helps my brain like remember it and then also be able to read it because reading my own writing is a lot easier.
So you were a note taker studier where you just rewrite
cards.
Where you like rewrite the entire page.
Oh yeah,
that was my thing with notes. I could never take notes because I would just write everything.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, why are you rewriting the book?
Yeah, but because it helps you.
Yeah, it helps me remember.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So my mom, like when I was growing up, was super involved with getting me all of like the help I needed with like dealing with my ADHD and dyslexia and like helping me learn my own way and like not comparing me to other kids, and which is why I went to a vocational high school so I could like work with my hands.
Right, right. Because they were like, she's not going to make it if in regular classes.
Feel like she should not take the SATs.
Yeah, same thing with me. It was like, please cook or something.
Do something else.
For sure. Well, Kim, I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be great for people to hear your story. All you pastry chefs out there. We're going to have more pastry people on, I promise you. Sucio Talk podcast.